Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 101 of Trials and Trebuchets. I am your dungeon master, Luke, and joining me are my players who are playing characters And their names of the first characters are such, and they can choose to say the name of the second character if they wish to do so.
Is this Inception?
They might also, in of themselves, be playing characters, a caricaturized version of themselves for the sake of recording an entertainment medium. But that's not for me to kind of say, that's more for them to say.
Hi, my name is Ben. I'll be playing the level 6 gnome wizard, Windsor Wallaby, who is playing the character Dr. Wesham, along with his cuddly little companion, Mr. Wiggles, who is also the companion of Dr. Wesham, surprisingly enough.
Hello. It is me, Carla, and I play Integrity Addleberry. Whatever she does is not necessary right now, but she is currently playing Jimothy Larold, who is a lovely heartbreaker musician, and this is my music for you. Down the road I look, and there runs Ainsley, all indigo and likes to blame me. Nice. It's good to be the green group of Clue.
Nice.
That is
beautiful.
My song.
Whoa.
That's a good song.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and I play Mira Marchand, who plays Angles, a professor who has a bird companion named Wingles. The actual murder in this arc is Penny verbally murdering Mira every time she opens her mouth.
And I play... Wait, no. God damn it, every time.
Just jumping into it.
And my name is Sam, and I play the level 6 human sorceress, Sarah Nepsinderman, who is playing Go Down One Layer. Simone Idol, the alchemist, world-renowned, and some people may call me snotty, but I like to say that I have class.
Well-deserved confidence. And last time on Trials and Trebuchets, the students took on the personas of their assigned guests and began to investigate the untimely death of Duke Pinwright. There was tension as accusations were thrown around without any real logic, like wet spaghetti against walls, and they came 0% closer to solving the mystery or achieving their goals, but everyone had a very good time, I think, is clear to say. So now we find ourselves in the basement of the Wraithrin estate, also known as Duke Pinwright's estate, depending on what canonical sense you're thinking about this. And we are in the cold room. There's wines and dairy products and little magical crystals that are somehow entangled in this maniacal plot to kill the Duke. And it is the turn once more to go in this game of Clue. It is Angles and... Or no, sorry. What am I talking about? It is Jimothy Larold and Lambok. It is the Dream Team time.
Okay, here's what I was thinking. Do we know if there's anyone else in that building aside from us? So we had like maybe someone who cooked our dinner for us, because like I'm assuming that it's a party, there's other people here, or not really. Like
you haven't seen evidence, hide nor take, or what's the expression?
High nor low or whatever.
You haven't seen anybody.
You ain't seen shit.
You ain't seen shit.
You've been staring at a wall.
Yeah, you've only seen 8 other people, and one of them is dead. Jimothy Larold. One of them is dead. The Duke is dead. All that remains are these 7 other guests. You can only trust yourself.
Damn.
Okay. So having seen the kitchen, on our way down to the
cold room,
I'll be like, aren't we all feeling a bit snacky? So I am going to look into my magnifying glass and start running like Naruto, like all the way to all the way to the kitchen.
Okay. So Jimothy Larold sprints out of the cold room, running with their arms back behind, like pointed back.
Well,
like
I guess
Naruto.
one arm behind and then the other
one arm behind
with,
and
like,
one
the
arm
magnifying
holding
glass.
a magnifying glass as she sprints down the hallway away from you. You can all leisurely or with some haste follow her down the hallway back to the large and well-packed root cellar, up a small bent set of stairs into the kitchen where we have existed in a previous scene many moons past. This is the same kitchen from Food for Thought, where the first slime fight ever happened, and
Has it
Mira
been
had a
fixed up?
The
great
scene of the
conversation.
crime.
The scene of the crime, and
The
there's
scene of the slime.
The scene of the slime.
Oh God.
The far wall where there was shelves with like wine bottles stored on them seems to have been, it was like cleaned up and everything, but new shelves have not been put in place. There's still a bunch of stains on the walls that don't seem like they can come out, but there's not very many remaining artifacts of that fateful night, no, Mira. And there's just this long preparing table. It seems to be relatively clean. What do you want, or I guess not what do you want to do? Search for your clue. Jimothy Larold, Integrity Idleberry. One and the same.
That is a 3 and a 3.
Ooh. Y'all are okay. So it is a moderate accuracy clue, and the clue is a weapon. So we're in the kitchen. What weapon does Jimothy Larold find here in the kitchen, everybody? That isn't just a giant cleaver.
Damn it.
Ooh, what if it was like something used to in one area.
A corkscrew for the wine.
A corkscrew.
A meat grinder.
A meat
shit.
Meat
But the
grinder.
body's still here. That doesn't count.
I was thinking close to the corkscrew is a small hammer that is used to crush these
garlic.
No. Like crush these like it's like a white pill that turned into powder.
Oh. Yeah, sure, that exists. Yeah, there's a small there's a hammer. Okay. On the
hammer
surface, there's a small hammer. It looks to be made of steel and is not very well used. It looks very fresh and new. And sitting next to it are a couple of crushed capsules of white powder, unremarkable in most regards. But one Jimothy Larold's eyes are drawn to it for some unmistakable reason. There's also a giant meat grinder in the corner, but that's not an object of attention at the current moment. So what do you say about this, Jimothy?
Why will this powder be so close to the cork? And I'm going to look straight into the powder and be like, what could this be? and sort of like, can I get other people to help that is outside of the group? Like, for example, Simone is supposed to be
alchemist.
Yeah, because the thing is, Ainsley cannot help me in terms of like, or
his character isn't an alchemist.
Because that's not how this works, right? Like, even though Lambok or Ainsley is an alchemist, he cannot use his knowledge outside of the game to determine.
Ainsley's a fucking metagamer.
Yeah, he
Estimate.
could just cheat. Objectively, could just cheat. But if you want to ask like Simone, you could directly ask them.
I could just be like, because I know that it's supposed to be a snotty, oh my gosh, I'm a chemist. I'm gonna be like, I wonder if there's anyone in this room that could determine what these powders are. And then
You
cough.
said the
Everyone-
trigger word.
Everyone glances over at Simone.
Gasp.
They're doing that whole thing where like they're looking where they're like, oh, me? and they go for like, well, I guess I can help you with this problem, and they will investigate the powder.
Yeah, absolutely. You can use your skill to just say anything you want, and everyone has to believe that it is true. So what is this thing?
Even if it is a lie.
But like, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I'm telling you, come up with it.
Like, what does it look like? Like the powder
It's just-
itself.
It's just white powder, apparently.
It's cocaine.
No.
Simone is going to run their finger through the center part of the powder and like rub it between their fingers, and they're gonna like taste it, sniff it, and they're
It's an ice cube. I mean, not ice cube. It's a sugar cube.
Icing sugar.
Oh my god.
I believe that this is, and they're gonna like take one more taste.
Yes.
This is a highly flammable powder
Oh.
that I believe some cooks may use for certain dishes to cook.
As Celeste will whack your hand while you're putting it, like you say this, and then go to put another dab of it into your mouth, and she'll whack your hand and say, "Don't eat it then."
Oh, it's perfectly safe unless mixed with another chemical. I'm like shaking,
then-
like waving their arm.
Which
like, "Ow,
is-
that hurt."
And then I am going, after seeing
blood
that
of thine
Celeste slapped Simone's hand, be like, then don't eat it then. I'm going to come up to Celeste and be like, why? What do you know? And then doing like and then stares at her using my magnifying glass and like putting it close to her face, close to my face, close to her face, close to my face.
She looks shocked, taken off guard when you ask her this, and she goes, "Well, I don't know anything about these things. I only know what Simone here said, and if she says that it's a dangerous substance, then I feel like she shouldn't be eating it. Simone, right?"
I'm going to put my hand on Celeste's shoulder, and I'm going it as like a comforting thing, and
Yes.
I'm going to say, "Have no fear, I am perfectly fine. This can only be used when mixed with another very specific chemical that can usually be found in kitchens such as this."
Oh. Everyone gasps.
Oh.
I didn't think that this was that interesting of information. Ooh.
Oh my gosh. Could this be how the Duke was killed? Because if the Duke had the powder inside them and the chandelier had fire on it, when it fell, because of the heat that is close to the body of the Duke, it combusted inside him and killed him, and that is why this person right here points to Wesham.
Oh my god.
Points to Wesham, and thought that it was a heart attack, when in fact it was just a combustion inside the body of the Duke.
Oh my goodness, that sounds very dangerous.
Wait, so does that Anastasia will say, "Wait, does that mean that it was in the wine?"
It
Or
could very well.
so are
Great
all of us
deduction.
do all the rest of us have that in us now too?
We can
had
try.
some
I'm gonna
wine.
start walking towards
I'm
the candle.
going to stop them, and I'm going to say first I have to check for the other ingredient.
Well, if I may, I happen to have optical skills that are able to see things in very small quantities. Perhaps I can take a look at the wine and see if I can spot tiny little powder grains inside of it.
And as a doctor, I can determine whether these particles inside of us are in fact harming to our being.
Very good point.
Okay.
And while
so-
you're all doing that, I
Oh my
will
God.
sing you a song for comfort.
What's the song?
Oh, taste the wine. Oh, it's so fine.
Okay, so Professor Engels looks into the wine glass or the wine bottle here. Is there any powders? Is the
Yes.
powder okay? Engels reports that there is in fact powder in the wine. And then, Dr. Wesham, you might make a conclusion based on this.
A conclusion is the side effect of such particles could cause delirium of the mind.
You seem to know surprising amounts about psychological things, Wesham. Interesting.
I have done a few brain surgeries over my occupation, so
Surgery.
Remind me to speak with you later.
correct.
All right.
Correct.
So,
There's the
right.
particles kicking in.
Team Simone and Celeste, Saraneth and Zara, what room are we headed to next?
Well, I was gonna do my thing, but then they did this, so I guess that would probably prove it. So I believe we are going to go to the library.
The library.
A source of knowledge for many.
Yes, there will be so much information there that will be. Why are we going to the library?
Because if we want to figure out how much of an inside job this is for the house itself, we might.
Inside job.
Well, because like if it is an inside job, then like they might have books about it in the library.
It's highly possible it could be an inside job.
Okay, this whispered conversation happens.
Wesham is
and then you
standing
all
in front of
run,
us as well. And like, am I gonna like, shut the fuck up?
And then you all sprint to the library. So you run through the dining room, back out into the main hallway, and then take an immediate left across from where the lounge was, where this entire event started, and open these double doors and find yourself in a very wonderful and very fully stocked library. The walls are completely filled with wooden bookshelves. There's large tables to spill out these large books upon. There's very comfortable reading nooks next to the windows at the front of the room. And there's not everything's large. And there's a nicely made ladder, the kind that has the wheels at the bottom that just rotates, or that you can wheel around to access the upper layers of the bookshelves if need be.
Okay.
Is there any other fun details about stuff in here?
A little glass case where like the old really expensive delicate books are in like the corner where they have to be like kept out of light to stop them from getting damaged.
Yes, this is the This is the case. This is the case that does exist there. There's 3 very, very old-looking tomes in there. In languages that are unreadable, or maybe it's just the font is really tiny. Either way,
They're written backwards.
Are there can I do I also notice like anything that looks like a collection?
Roll a perception
It's my
check.
turn.
Yeah,
Oh.
but we can still play D&D. We're not looking for clues. This is trying to accomplish actual goals.
You said perception?
Yes.
I got 17 as integrity.
17 integrity. Beyond those, the ones in the corner that have just been described, it doesn't seem like there's any like formal collection of any kind in here.
Okay.
But anyways, yes, it is your turn, Simone and Celeste. So why don't you go ahead and roll for a clue?
Yes. Oh shit, that's a 6.
Oh, a 6, a superb clue.
Oh shit.
Oh shit, and that's God, it's arcane again.
Oh my
So
lord.
much arcane.
1,000 years arcane.
1,000
The
years?
the most magical mystery there ever was. That should have been the arc name, magical
It was
mystery.
Merlin
a bad
the
arc
entire
name.
time hiding behind the walls.
All right, so
Yeah.
let's brainstorm. What magical or arcane clue do Simone and Celeste find here in the library?
Some kind of like illusion spell on a certain book to like hide that it's a different book that someone's been looking up.
Oh,
How to plan murders.
There's
Exactly. It's been
there-
changed to like interesting sewage facts.
Simone is gonna find this book and
Yes.
gonna turn to the people and say, I feel we've been looking at this the wrong way from the very beginning.
We
We should know.
Simone, you notice something that's off, and you and Celeste exchange a look. You grab this illusion-y, almost glitching out book off of the bookshelf and pull it and hold it in your hands. It says raw sewage and where to put it. And you say, we need to be looking at this a different way. And you turn the book upside down and it's almost like the illusion pours off of it. And it says how to murder really good.
Oh shit!
I'm going to like.
Oh,
Man! If you guys could understand the smug look on Simone's face right now, like, you can. I feel like we've been looking at this the wrong way, my friends. We should have been looking at why he was murdered, and then I do the flip, and there's like, woof. Like, for you see, I believe our dear host was into something nefarious, and that's why he was killed.
They did say that there was a mortal secret right before he died.
That
He
could
was
cause
talking
his
about that.
death, he said.
Yes, so I think that someone here at this very party didn't want that secret to get out. And so they showed up here, put the poison or the powder in the wine so that they could kill not only the Duke, but all of the rest of us too.
Yes.
But that doesn't make any sense because then wouldn't they be guilty if they were the only one who survived this?
Unless they plan to frame somebody.
But I don't see any big enough frames.
There are two things you must know about the chemical we found in the other room. It will dissolve. It usually dissolves in 2 hours when put into liquid. So, if the plan was for us all to drink the wine in the first place, all they would have to do is avoid getting hit, and they would be safe. And who are we, and who would be anyone to judge them?
I think that we need to investigate why everyone knows the Duke and why they're here, because then we can figure out who might have been here beforehand and set everything up, right, Simone? And who could have gotten their hands on a drug or a chemical like that.
That is an excellent idea. Are there seats in the library?
There are tons of them, yes.
Oh,
Very
yeah,
cushy and cozy seats.
I'm gonna wave everyone over to, I guess, just take a seat then, because we have to sit
seat.
down and
So
have a get to know you
cute.
party.
This is literally
Yeah.
Clue, where they're just
Yeah.
chilling in the living room.
I guess, who wants to go first? Who wants to expose their backstory? Which, depending on who you are, might lead someone else to achieve their goal for the evening. I'll make a very good note of that. So the point is to be careful what you reveal so that you don't give other people the means to achieve their goals, but also so that you don't incriminate yourself, or like give enough evidence so that you're not going to be a suspect.
How do you even do
I'm-
that?
I'm gonna sit
Try your
down,
best.
and I'm gonna say,
Someone here has very sensitive information that they should not have. This person knows about my career and certain things, and I suspect,
and I point to Wesham.
based on your knowledge of psychology, that it is you who has this information.
Huh.
But Winslow, it's totally you, right? Like,
A denial, just as I expected.
Oh my god. Simone is going to.
Well, you see, from one expert in the field to another, it is required of doctors such as myself to dip into other fields of expertise in order to understand how to better care for my patients. So it puts, so to
Anastasia
speak.
will say, a holistic approach.
Correct.
oh, fuck, that makes sense.
Well, if it's not Wesham, will anyone confess to being this individual?
Simone is going to cross their legs and gesture to. Oh my god, I'm so bad with names.
The names are so horrific. It's so rough.
Wait, I have them written down. Angles. Gesture to Angles and say, well, as a... well, as a... I can't say... wait. This is saying right now.
Okay, you can either
Opticology.
opticology, or you can also say psychoptics.
Well, as a professor in psychoptics, you must know that a guilty person will never admit they're guilty until it is too late. I believe we should do our introductions more properly this time.
I agree with Simone that some people just really like lying about things. Says
Who said this?
Aritica Rowe,
Yep.
also known as Penny.
I'm going to walk up to Aritica, and I'm going to be like, Aritica, it seems like you have been very, what can I say, negative all night.
I just need proof of all the things you are all saying before I just jump to making conclusions like the rest of you, or assumptions like the rest of you.
Yes, we shouldn't make assumptions about people if we aren't positive.
Yeah,
So
unless
at
we
least
have a
let's-
lot of evidence.
Yes, exactly, unless we have a lot of evidence.
Yeah,
so
I'm
we should
glad we
talk about
agree.
our backstories.
And if you're so innocent in all of this, Aridica, then you should have no problem explaining your backstory.
I like I said, I'm a godly woman. I'm just here to get the proof that the Duke had that the church was going to continue getting funding.
So you
Easy
came
as
here
that.
for another reason.
I came here to have a conversation with the Duke. I'd assume the rest of you have a similar reason, right, Dr. Wesham? Why else would a doctor, a surgeon of such esteem, show up to a birthday party in such a backwoods place?
Well,
Mighty
I will
suspicious.
explain for you as from the good of my heart there, Miss Aridica. So, back a few years ago when I used to do house calls, I will say I have been in this place once before. I made a special visit to my good friend, the Duke. He was experiencing some strange illness, and I decided to assist him as a doctor would. So, I had to come to his estate for numerous visits to ensure that his health was improving after prescribing him various medications to ensure that everything was going well. Eventually, he did become healthier after all of that, and he was so grateful for my assistance and just coming over there as soon as possible. My schedule can be quite full at times. So we sort of bonded over the whole experience, you know? We were both very close during that time, so I thought why not? Why not come by and, you know, attend the birthday party of his? It seemed
you
like
know
it seemed
this
like the
house
least
well.
I could do for him.
So you not only know this house really well, but you've also given medication to the Duke before?
Be advised that I've really only been into the lobby area and his bed chambers. I have not really explored the rest of the house because I was not really permitted to do so. Especially because I had extreme duties to attend to the Duke.
So you're saying that you've only been into the room and the foyer?
Correct.
But what
And
about
any
the
hallways
hallway?
that might
Did
connect.
you just poof and poof?
I was about to say, of course, to get from point A to point B, you would have to go through point 2.5.
A, B, 2.5. Got it.
Then
I simply do not
you
just teleport
lied
between
to
one
us.
location to the other.
Well then, what about you, Jimothy Lerald? If you're such an honest person, tell me what your backstory is.
I'm here because I was invited to sing for my friend. I am, after all, a wonderful musician. And I am adorable.
Wow.
Good explanation.
I love the idea of integrity being like, I'm adorable.
I mean, is she wrong?
There you
Right?
go.
Lambok will say, that all sounds above board to me, but why are you and the Duke friends in the first place?
Because the Duke has seen me perform during his traveling.
enough to invite you in. I relate to that because the Duke wrote me his favorite poet and to invite me directly to the party as an honored and very famous guest. So we're in good company here, Jimothy.
Exactly.
We have.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just saying that he invited me because he loves my music. I sang about love. I sang about the water. I sang about the chocolate hills all the way over and everywhere of this country.
I think it's very interesting that the Duke invited 3 different artists to be at the same party. You have a dancer, I'm sure a very good dancer, and a musician, and a poet here at the same time.
A collaborative event.
Yes.
Yeah,
Do you all know each other? Have you perhaps met before in your engaging in the arts?
I can't say that we've met before. I don't remember meeting a Lambok or a Jimothy Larold. Typically, it's I am accompanied by my own troupe of performers, but they weren't able to make it tonight, so I came alone. I wasn't asked to come perform tonight, so I don't know about Jimothy here or Lambok, but I was just asked here out of respect for my position, Anastasia Furnicle will say. She also looked happy when you said that you're sure she was a nice dancer.
Oh.
Mira's pandering hard.
Yes.
Penny's fuming.
Oh yeah, just like steam coming out of her ears in rage.
So some of us he seems to have invited here to have a conversation, and others he seems to have just invited here for friendship. But that must not clearly be the case, because he brought us all here for a reason and told us that something would lead to his death. So it surely can't be that simple.
Well, the Duke asked me to come here because I have a history of dealing with people close to me dying, and he just wanted some advice on how to cope with those things.
Who's talking right now?
So somebody near him had died?
This is Celeste, also known as Zara, who is speaking right now. I don't know if someone near him had died, but based on what he said of there being a mortal secret, I think he was worried about someone near him dying, or maybe even his own life getting taken, which is obviously the case.
An odd way to word
So,
it.
what do you know about death? Do you also give death?
Whoa.
my God.
I would never. Oh my gosh, no. It's just a happenstance of like this. It's a circumstance, you know. I'm not responsible for the people who are around me who die, but they do.
Have you ever had...
Explain that.
Oh, well, and Zara will pull out the small piece of paper, which looks like it has an exceptional amount written on it, and she will read it and put it away and go, well, as a noble from the city, I went to many social gatherings and dealt with many people. Many betrothals was I a part of, but people, they would always die before anything would come to pass.
So you're saying that you have a history of stealing lives?
I don't steal anything, no. And she'll giggle she'll giggle first when you're saying that, Integrity, and then respond very seriously of like, oh no, I don't steal lives, no.
And these people who died and the Duke, do they have anything in common?
Other than being nobility, I don't think so, no. All the people I was betrothed to died of natural causes or of just freak accidents.
What sorts of accidents?
Oh, things like a ship going up in flames or sinking or, you know, things like that. People being crushed under pianos on the street.
Truly natural deaths.
Natural deaths, yes. Drinking spoiled milk and dying. Things like that.
Oh, bless Madam Pinright's soul.
Being crushed by things, drinking things that kill you, things involving flame. These all sound exactly like the methods used today to kill the Duke.
All combined.
And at this point, the bracelet between, or the link between you, Angles, and one Aritica Row, Mira, and Penny, your little magical bond begins to glow a bright, what was the color? Eggplanty color. And it is now your turn.
Okay, we are
You're in the library.
we're in the library. I'm gonna have us move to, there was a changing room.
There was, yes.
And I'm gonna say,
All right, we should go to the changing room then. Aritica, would we be able to go alone first for a second?
Ooh.
I would love that, actually.
Yes, I think that would be a good idea. We will be right back, and you can come join us, everyone, and we will find a clue for this murder mystery.
Mira, make an insight check.
okay.
And I guess the rest of you can make insight checks if you want as well.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's insight.
12 plus 3. 15.
I got 19 for mine.
Okay.
21.
Okay. Winsler,
Hmm?
are you going to make an insight check or no?
To what?
If you wanted to make an insight check to read the room while Penny and Mira leave
Okay.
on their own, you can do so.
That's a 6.
Oh, a 6. You seem very focused on the fact that Wiggles is like waking up at this point. He's like stretching very, like he's like doing that thing where he stretches all the way out as he like wakes up from his like mid-evening nap. Serenepth and Integrity, you seem to notice that the other third years are very on edge about that. Serenepth and Integrity, or I guess Mira, you'd notice that too. That Zara and Ainsley seem on edge about you two leaving. And I think Integrity and Serenepth specifically, because you rolled higher, you would kind of be able to make out that the feeling that you're getting from Delnis is not just one of like being uncomfortable with that tension, but also kind of like she looks a little bit ashamed about it.
Interesting.
Ooh.
And so
Things are about to pop off. I want it.
Penny and Mira, you walk silently, unless you wanted to say something.
Nope,
Down
Mira's
the
not saying
hallway.
anything.
Okay, down the hallway
Oh.
to the dressing room, which you have already been in when you first arrived at the Raytherin estate. It seems like this entire atmosphere has been very fun thus far, except for a couple of times when Penny's been very rude. But this definitely feels more socially tense of a situation. And so you enter into this small dressing room and can close the door.
Okay, clearly you want to say something to me. Just say it now so we don't mess with the party for everybody else.
I just want to know what the hell is your problem.
My problem? You've
Yeah.
been glaring at me all evening. I'm
Yeah,
just trying to
'cause-
have fun.
Because you told my best friend that you had a crush on her and then ran back in and tried to get yourself killed.
Okay, yes, I messed
Yeah.
up.
So I have a problem with that of like, stop. Like we were at the party and you're like, oh, come along on an adventure with us and it'll be fun, right?
She asked to come.
asked. Yeah. And then you get in trouble and then you immediately go back into trouble even though she doesn't want you to, but you still expect her to like reciprocate feelings for you.
I don't
And like you
expect
come to a
her-
party like this.
I don't expect her to do anything. She doesn't have to like me back. She doesn't have to like me. But do you really think this is what she wants? She invited us all to the party for a reason, and I don't think she wants to watch us fight with each other.
Okay. I agree with, make a persuasion check actually.
Sure.
I want things to pop off. I want them to like pull each other's
15
hair.
plus 7.
Okay.
23. 24.
Okay.
2? 22.
She closes her eyes for a second and she just looks really angry and like she's like stifling that, Mira. And when she opens, she'll look at you, not still hard stare mode, and she'll say, all right, I agree. We can just have fun, but lay off it.
Lay off what?
Like she doesn't deserve this.
You're
Like
right.
if you're just going to play around with it or with her, knock it off.
No, you're right. I get it. I get that from your perspective, I would seem like I'm not taking this seriously but that's not true. And there were very extenuating circumstances, and I am not going to try to justify them to you because I know that that's not going to help. But what can I do to prove that I'm serious and that I'm not trying to mess with Delnis's feelings. I'm not trying to mess with anything that anyone's doing. How can I prove that to you?
I think it's just as easy as if you say something to her, like, oh, that was really dangerous. That was a really dangerous thing. Or just generally stop doing dangerous things. Like, I know about the giant snake and all
she
this
told you
weird
that.
ancient stuff.
Okay.
And she'll just shrug and say, if you're gonna go and do all of that, don't also get Delnis caught up in it. Like, she has other things to worry about other than just you who's trying to get expelled or trying to get killed or something.
I'm not. Okay. Okay, so she told you all of this. Believe me when I say I didn't want this. I didn't choose this. I want to be free of it. I'm trying to be free of it, actively so. I am doing my best not to get either of us involved. I don't know if there's a way that I can prove that to you, but I assure you, I'm not trying to make things difficult.
I don't think it's something you can just say, oh, I want to prove it to you, and just say that with words. I think this is an actions thing, Mira.
You're right. Okay, you're right.
But I'll be cool for the rest of the night. Okay.
For now, let's just do this mystery and have fun with it. And I promise I will do my best. I know these are just words, but I'm going to show you I don't mean anyone harm.
As she opens the door and you say this to her, she's like looking you in the eyes and she'll say, I'm going to hold you to that.
I nod and I say, good.
Okay. And you can call for the rest of the gang to show up.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know why, but I have just like this like distinct rage against Penny. Like, Jesus Christ, chill the fuck out.
She had
You
her
don't
arm bitten
understand.
off, Penny. My God.
It's like, but
Like,
at the,
piss off.
at the same time, you can kind of like imagine if like one of us were
I
being
mean,
dragged off
she's
somewhere
made
else.
points, but like, Jesus Christ.
But like you can kind of see it from her
Fucking
from
wild
like her
shit.
point of view,
why you gotta
right?
be so why you gotta be so
I see
aggressive?
both sides. I see
Yeah.
both sides.
Okay.
I see it.
So the gang shows up here since you elected to take the option of not, so the way that I think I should say this, the way that the move as a pair thing works is you go off somewhere to either have some like one-on-one thing or to achieve your own personal goal. And you during this time you cannot discover any additional clues, and it's assumed you will meet back up with the group wherever they move to next.
Oh.
Okay. So instead of the gang meeting back up with you at the changing room, you and Penny will then meet up with the gang wherever Winsler, or rather Dr. Wesham, and Anastasia Furnicle, the woman of the evening,
Correct.
decide to go. So where is that going to be, Wesham?
It's a really good question. I might want to do the pair option.
Oh, okay.
So, let's
So everyone's
see.
going to the library and then just splitting off.
Mhm. Trying to
Interesting.
think where I might be able to go that would be interesting. Ooh, I know. We will go to the Grand Hall upstairs.
Oh, the upper Grand Hall. Okay. You're going off as you and Delnis, Wesham, and Anastasia. So how do you phrase this to the rest of the group as like a rationale for we're going off, right? So that you're not suspicious as hell.
Because I knew Duke Pinwright very well, and I visited him a lot during the times when he was ill, I figured, I might go and investigate his bedchambers if there's anything that might provide any insight as to exactly what transpired in leading to his death. Maybe he received some sort of a note. I'm not exactly sure. I would like to go and investigate there personally, just because of how close of a relationship that I had with him on such a personal level.
Oh, so we'll just go like the two of us?
Yes.
Uh
It's also
then-
for me to sort of, pay my respects.
oh, yes, of course. So the two of you can get up. Winslow, you pull your trolley, and Delnus will hold the door for you.
Squeak, squeak, squeak,
And you can walk in down the hallway and up the stairs, and then down the hallway again, for all the way from the west end of the east end of the estate, all the way to the west end of the estate on the second floor. Do you want to say anything to her during this time? What is your intention in going here?
My intention is to complete a goal.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
that is my main intention. It's also why we're going
Okay.
to the grand hall and not the bedchambers.
Okay, so you're walking, and instead of taking the first door on your right on this hallway to enter into like the Duke's, what would be the Duke's chambers and what is marked on the map as Elric's suite, you instead take the door on the left and find yourself on a small little balcony overlooking what seems to be a little performance room, right? Like somewhere where you
Ooh.
could set up on a stage and perform music and have a large gathering of individuals.
Now,
right?
where's the
like a small
gun?
Theater. What? And Delnus will kind of be puzzled as she stands next to the door and you carried on, and she'll say, or Anastasia will say, didn't you say we were going to go into the quarters and pay respects?
I did.
What are you doing?
Did say that, but I really don't think we might be able to find what exactly I'm looking for there.
Oh.
I think we might be able to find something related to the investigation in this very room, because this seems to be some sort of room for performance and gatherings, correct? So
Yeah.
he invited 3 different performers to the estate. So I have a feeling that something was originally going to happen in this very room while performances were going on. So I would like to do a bit of a personal investigation through this level here to see if there might be anything hidden away as a secondary sort of weapon or plan in case the original did not work.
If you were the killer, you'd tell me, right?
Correct.
And you're not the killer?
Correct.
Okay.
However, I respect your suspicion of me regardless, because this is a very tense situation and you never know who you can trust.
She's going to pull out her little piece of paper and she's going to say, apparently I'm supposed to be avoiding someone else also, but I don't know if that's something we should talk about. It doesn't seem like it's you though, because you're just not that suspicious.
Not that suspicious. It's
Literally
clearly
the most
obvious
suspicious person at the
here.
party.
Well, how
Um,
about we
So,
take our time here briefly, and then we will meet up with the group as swiftly as possible.
oh, sure. Do you think Penny and Mira are okay?
I'm gonna remove the Wesham sort of thing going on right now, and like I'm not exactly sure what's going on with them. I know that Penny was kind of glaring
She's
at
gonna
Mira for pretty much all night.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Delnus
you
is gonna
noticed that or all.
Delnus is gonna sit down on like this large lounge here on this balcony.
God, I'm not good at having. I'm not good at these things.
You're the one who
And
always
she
gets
gets
the
to-
heart-to-heart talks.
After, so she told me that she had a crush on me when we were in Mr. Artesian's cottage, just the 2 of us, and then immediately went with all of you the next morning to go kill Nesca.
Yeah.
And I told everyone about that, and they just kind of thought that it was rude of her. So I've been avoiding her, but I still need to tell her how I feel too. So I'm stuck in this difficult spot, and I feel like this is kind of rude of me to just drop on you out of nowhere, since we don't know each other very well. But
Well,
I
that's
just don't know
okay.
what to do.
You know, I know that Mira and you were very close. I don't really pay too much attention to it because, I never really knew you that well, but I knew that she really cared about you a lot, and the whole situation with Nesca was like, it was an extreme situation that's like been sort of building up and hovering around us for who knows how long, and it was just getting more and more dangerous, and we couldn't really just sit around and, just keep ignoring the problem until something worse would have happened. So I know it's possible that everyone saw it as rude because, Mira just confessed her feelings and then she fled the scene to, throw herself in danger, but we all threw ourselves in danger. We wanted to make sure that not only was the rest of the school safe, we wanted to make sure that the people we cared about and even ourselves were safe as well. So I think it's not a matter of, it wasn't a matter that she's like playing around with sort of the feelings that you were experiencing and all that. I think she still really cares about you, and the circumstances were just not really aligned and really working out at the time. So I think your feelings are valid, and I don't think you should really ignore them, but I think you should really speak with her again. I think maybe you should really confess what you're feeling, and then maybe something good might come from it.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
I'm gonna fucking fail this so bad. My persuasion is Garbo.
Believe in you.
Wizard the wingman.
I'm trying.
Wiggles is the wingman. Why isn't Wiggles doing anything?
Also Wingles.
That's true.
It's not great. Even with advantage, it's like a 10.
Okay.
Oof.
I rolled I rolled a 9 and a 2.
Oh my,
my
gosh.
gosh.
She's going to like sit there, and still she kind of just looks ashamed, and she's gonna say like, I guess I just feel, I don't know, it feels like a breach of trust to have told all my friends about it, and then it feels really childish to just keep avoiding her anytime something horrible happens. Like, I don't know if she told you about the time I yelled at her when they came for dinner here, but then I just avoided her for weeks after that. And then now I've avoided her for weeks again just because I don't want to have the conversation. And then Felice even told me to invite her here for the party. And I mean, I get that you're right, but yeah. Thank you, Winsler.
I think even if you wait just a little bit longer, maybe sort of like, sit on your feelings a little bit too, that's okay. It's not something you probably have to worry about right now, but, just stuff to think on. You don't want to be like stewing in the darkness forever, Sometimes you gotta step out and, take the plunge.
During all this time, Winsler, are you also trying to achieve one of your other goals, as you said?
I am trying to achieve one of my other goals, yes.
Which goal would that be?
Oh boy, what goal would that be? I would say my personal goal.
Okay, your personal goal. So, in that case, what are you looking for?
Let's see. This is like it's a performance room.
Yes, it's like a big, almost theater.
It's a theater.
Yeah.
And since we're on the upper level, I'm not sure exactly what I might find here, but I'm willing to take a look to see if there's anything that, might have slipped underneath any of the seats, or if there's anything in like cupboards that might be up here.
Give me an investigation check.
Are you trying to rob their fucking house?
Imagine like giving a heartfelt like speech to Delness while
while
robbing
also
her blind.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But only the loose change. They won't notice that. Smart thinking. Jesus Christ.
Smart thinking, me. Totally worth it. So let's see. So it was investigation. That's a 14.
Okay.
Not amazing.
There's a small basket attached to a holder for like the, what are they called? Like the list of all the performances and songs, Ben, that's going to be happening for the evening.
Oh.
Set list?
Set list is similar to what I'm thinking of.
It basically lists. It's like a performance
like the
list.
program. Is that the right word?
It's a program sheet. You're like
the program
pamphlet.
sheet.
There's
Set
many
list
words
is,
for it.
Yeah, set list is like a more modern version of what I was looking for. So thank you. Set list or program. It's like that for something, and the dates from like a couple of years ago, and it's just shoved into this little basket, Winsler. And written on like the top right corner are scratchy handwritten notes to a song that you're not quite certain is anything, but it seems notable
I
that it's here.
am going to yoink this
Mm-hmm.
and put it in my book.
Yeah, Delness does not take notice at all because she's just sitting here kind of seeking consolation and like with her head like in her hands looking down.
This is an important tool that will help us later.
Back in the library. Are y'all still in character?
I think.
Yeah, I would say that once like Mira gets back from her combo
Mira
with
and
Penny,
Penny
she'd
are
be
not
back in character.
Mira and Penny
oh.
are not back here yet.
Oh, not yet. Never mind.
No.
I think Serenepth would have dropped character because clearly other stuff is happening, and so now she's kind of like
Yeah.
sitting and like messing, like fiddling with her hands, like she doesn't really know what to do.
Okay. Ainsley will say after like a couple minutes after, or like not a couple minutes, like probably 10 seconds after Delnis and Winsler leave, he'll just like lean back in his chair and be like, "Yikes."
I'm going to continue looking around, still in character, but
Mhm.
I will be speaking out loud. And I'll
Out loud.
and I will be like, I wonder what's going on there. And I'm just going to continue looking around because, I have things to do. But I'm hoping that Ainsley will sort of get a clue that I do want to know what's going on, but I'm really feeling this character.
Oh.
Amazing.
So-
I want the goss, but also I love being Timothy too much.
Yeah.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Good thing persuasion is my best one.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's goofy that persuasion is your best skill.
What are you talking about? She's Jimothy.
Okay. I got Jim. I got 15.
Okay. So, like, you say this as Jimothy, and Serenepth, you might see Zara and Ainsley exchange, like, a quick glance of, like, is this okay to talk about right now? And then before Ainsley will just continue without tact and say, Penny has been aggro about your friend for, like,
Aggro.
2.5 weeks now.
Aggro.
Yeah, we kind of noticed tonight the tension there.
Yeah, sorry about her. She's not normally this directly rude. It's more subtle, usually.
I wonder what the feelings are there. And I'm going to continue looking around. Like looking under the couch, looking
Serenepth is gonna
under the piano.
Serenepth is like gonna put her face into her hands and just like her leg is gonna start like shaking up and down where she's sitting.
Yeah. Oh, well, I think Delnis... Okay, so, Integrity, this is what happened. She told me everything. It's a whole convoluted story. There's a snake in the sewers. They climbed a tower. They had a sleepover together. It was a whole thing, right? And then your friend, Mira, comes out and goes, I have a giant crush on you. Like we all didn't know that already. And then she just runs off, right? With, like, the rest of you to figure out, or to do whatever the hell you guys do in the sewers all the time. Not a big deal, right? So, Delnis tells us all this as if it's not, like, absolutely insane, right? And so Penny just gets real angry about it and tells her to start avoiding Mira.
But where is the anger coming from? Huh.
What do you mean?
And this time I'm gonna go to the couch where they're sitting, and I'm
Yeah.
going to put my what's the word? I will have my chin on my hand and looking at them. I'm guessing I'm between the two of them, and
Yes.
like looking at them both, and I'm going to be
Yeah.
like, is there something there with Penny and Delmas, or just really close just really close friends?
Friends.
Hello?
Hello.
Are you
Hello? Do you have feelings for your friend?
Wow, what a noid.
They'll look at you almost with, like, expressions like they had not ever thought of it like that. And they're gonna roll insight checks on the entire time. This is the moment that they have, like, a flashback to every time Delmas and Penny have interacted.
And there's like slow motion, like
Oh boy.
The pain of unrequited feelings.
Oh, those are
Do
very
be
good
like
rolls.
that.
Pain of feelings.
Exactly.
Zara's eyes
During the
are gonna, like,
flashback, it's like, wouldn't it be nice?
Maybe there's something there.
I was
that
thinking
wasn't
something
there
like
before.
slower. Like a
Zara's
ballad
going
starts
to
playing.
speak up first, and she'll say, well, I never really thought there was anything, like, they're just childhood friends, right? And then Ainsley will say, I mean, they're kind of close with one another, but not like, and they just pause, and they think, and they don't know, I think is the verdict. Integrity.
And then I'm going to just, like, take out again my magnifying glass. Look at them with the magnifying glass. And then
Zara
I'm
will
like,
say, I don't think Penny's ever been in, like, a relationship since we've known her. So I don't know if that's proof or counterproof or something.
I mean, it could just be that Penny sort of wants to protect Dallas as a sister.
Yeah. It could
I'm just
be.
wondering, because why would her anger be so much more than the two of you?
And as Integrity says, maybe that's why why would her anger be so much more than the two of you? Mira and Penny, you can return.
I feel
to
like
the
everyone just
library.
like turns their head to like
Yes,
stare at
the
Penny now, and they're
door-
like
Yeah.
analyzing.
The door opens. The two of you walk in. Penny seems decidedly less angry than when you left. Like just much more simmered down. And Ainsley and Zara are just both watching her, analytically now, I think. And with zero tension on that end, that's where we're gonna end this episode, I think.
Spicy. I drew a little teacup in my notes for the tea.
Ooh, tea.
It's a fucking spicy episode.
Sarah, could you give us an outro?
Yeah, of course. Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Trials and Trebuchets. If you enjoyed it, please leave us a rating or a review on iTunes or whatever podcatcher app you use. We read every single one. They really help us get the word out. They mean so much to us. You can also follow us on Instagram or Twitter at Trials and Trebs, which is where you can see like the floor plan for this murder mystery.
Correct.
What everybody's names are, and also just like fan art and previews and maps and all kinds of cool TNT exclusive content. If you're feeling extra generous and want to go the extra mile to support us, you can also support our Patreon at patreon.com/trialsandtrebs, which helps us things like affording hosting fees, getting cool art commissions, getting better quality equipment. My mic just like failed on me, so it really helps us out a lot when we're able to do that. So if you do want to support us and get cool rewards like getting to make a student NPC, getting notes and blooper reels, getting to vote on bonus episodes, and getting early access, please support us on patreon.com/trialsandtrebs. Thank you very much, and hopefully you enjoy the remainder of this arc.
Yeah, it's been very calm, zero drama so
Yeah,
far.
right.
Super chill,
Zero
and
drama.
it'll be a
Liar.
very structured mystery starting in the next episode.
Luke
I
is
think.
the murderer.
Oh shit. I mean,
That's just generally true.
All right, thanks everyone for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.